Welcome to your Astro Forecast for the remainder of December, which means the remainder of 2023 as well. I'm Sarah Nicole. This is Twisted Goddess Tarot, and my mission is to help you navigate the cosmic energies with greater awareness. So we're coming in a day late this week. Yesterday was a busy day, and so we pushed it to today. I'm not in my office on Tuesdays. It's my local pickup day for Twisted Goddess crystals, and so I'm coming from a different area of my home today. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and drop me a comment so I can come back and say hi to you. A couple things that I want to touch on. Next week I'm going to be out of town, so I went ahead and we're going to do the Astro Forecast for this week and next week in this live video. So this video is going to carry you through to the end of December of 2023, okay? So one thing I wanted to touch on before we get started on the Astro Forecast and what is happening in the cosmic dance and where the planets are and how they're moving and how they're going to be affecting us is we still have... Oh, let me turn that off. We still do have the 2024 New Moon Manifestation Guide available for you. I have linked the offering. I've linked the link to purchase in the video description. That is going to give you how to utilize the moon phases in your manifestation practice, and not in a general sense, but in a personalized sense that is personalized to your birth chart. So where every new moon is happening within your birth chart, what area of your life it's going to be activating, what intentions you should be setting based on where that new moon is happening for you in your personal birth chart. So that is, it's like a 10-page written report for you that takes you through the entire, all of the moon phases, all of the new moons for all of 2024. It's one of my favorite offerings because of how useful it is. It's only $33.33, and you're going to use it all year long. Okay, so that's that is in the video description at the very bottom. You can go to that and you can check that out. Let's dive into the astrology for the remainder of 2023, shall we? So today, Tuesday, December 19th, we have the first quarter moon at 27 degrees Pisces. The first quarter moon occurs when the sun creates a challenging square aspect to the waxing moon, while the energy of the moon is building. This square aspect really pushes you to action. It creates sort of a tension, which makes the themes of the first quarter moon focus, momentum, and facing your fears. So when we're talking about manifesting with the moon, which is just what we were talking about, offering the 2024 New Moon Manifestation Guide, when we talk about manifesting with the moon, we really only get 2 weeks of active manifestation time, from the new moon to the full moon. The other 2 weeks of the lunar cycle is the waning moon, when we're starting to release, when we're resting, when we're reflecting, when we're realigning before the energy starts building again. Okay, so the first quarter moon acts as a reminder that we're halfway through the active manifestation part of the lunar cycle. So if you set an intention at the new moon a week ago, this is your reminder. The first quarter moon comes in and creates some tension to remind you that your intention probably isn't going to come to fruition simply from setting an intention, that there are probably some actions that you need to take to have that intention come to fruition. Okay, so here to remind you to take the aligned action needed to allow your intention to come to completion. If you take the actions that are within your circle of control, the universe will conspire with you to take actions that are out of your circle of control. Also, any crystals, any water, any other spiritual tools that are charged under the first quarter moon are going to hold the energy of growth and taking action. I know a lot of us like to make full moon water, and while that is beautiful, full moon water is beautiful. It holds the energy of success. It holds the energy of power. It charges our crystals and our other spiritual tools, right? Sometimes we don't always need that. And so if you need extra motivation, or if you're wanting to grow something, first quarter moon water is beautiful for that. And I would charge my crystals like carnelian and things of that nature, our motivation crystals, garnet, things like that, under the first quarter moon to really boost the properties of those crystals. So that is today, first quarter moon. Remember, take action towards your intentions if you want to see them grow. On Wednesday, December 20th, which is tomorrow, we have Vesta Retrograde moving back into Gemini. So goddess asteroid Vesta has been retrograde since November 2nd in Cancer. But now she moves back into Gemini, right? So remember, Vesta is a goddess of hearth and home. And in astrology, she represents our inner hearth, our inner flame. So where she is in the cosmic dance can point to what we need to do to stoke our sacred flame and what we're dedicated and what we're devoted to. Remember that retrograde is a time to reflect. It's a time to turn our energy inward and retrace our steps and be sure we're still in alignment. While Vesta was retrograding through Cancer, we were being guided to reflect on our devotion to family. We were being guided to reflect on our devotion to our emotional stories that we tell ourselves, or the emotions that we're attached to. And we're also being guided to reflect on our comfort zones too, our attachment to our comfort zones, our devotion to our comfort zones. Are these still in alignment? So that's what we've been looking at while Vesta was retrograde in Cancer since November 2nd. And starting tomorrow, Wednesday, December 20th, she's going to move back into Gemini. So now we're going to be moving into the mental realm, reflecting on our devotion to our inner dialogue. Okay, so I am not seeing comments. If anybody's leaving comments, I apologize. I'm not ignoring you. Sometimes Facebook is tricky. So now we're moving back into the mental realm, reflecting on our devotion to our inner dialogue, to the narrative that we have constructed or that others have constructed for us. See how important this can be? Our devotion to that inner dialogue that we have, right? To that narrative that we tell ourselves. This is a really great time to identify what narratives you're devoted to that actually no longer resonate with you. Remember, you don't have to alter them yet, right? Retrograde is a time to just reflect. It's not quite a time to take action. So you don't have to alter those narratives yet. Simply identify them. Simply review the stories that you tell yourself, the stories you're attached to, about who you are, about what you believe in, about what you're capable of, okay? When Vesta stations direct on February 8th and begins moving forward again, that will be the time for you to begin changing the narratives. And when she moves forward into Cancer on March 31st, you can take your new narrative, your new mental, your new mindset, your new perspective, and form new emotional states due to that new perception. Okay, so I love that Venus or that Vesta is coming back through Cancer. Okay, what is my emotional realm? Back through the mental realm, and then is going to give us the opportunity to recreate our perceptions to then recreate our emotional world. Okay, so I love, love, love that. And then on Thursday, December 21st, we are going to have Capricorn season beginning as the sun enters Capricorn, which is also going to mark the winter solstice. Welcome to Capricorn season on December 21st. Whether you're a Capricorn or not, we're all going to feel this energy over the next month. So Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planetary body of wisdom, of discipline, of responsibility. It's represented by the sea goat, embodying the ability to swim in the depths of awareness and climb to the heights of achievement. In tarot, Capricorn is represented by the devil, representing the drive to succeed no matter what. As the sun moves into the constellation of Capricorn on December 21st, you may feel a call to strive for better and to work harder towards your goals. If there's been a goal in your life that you haven't felt you could achieve, use this Capricorn energy to renew belief in yourself. The challenges of Capricorn, because like I always say, there's no such thing as a good sign or a bad sign, as a good planet or a bad planet, as a good placement or a bad placement. They all have their higher expressions as well as their lower expressions. And the challenges of Capricorn season come when you forget that success means little if you didn't enjoy the journey to get there. Okay, so remind yourself that the journey is the destination during Capricorn season. If you're a Capricorn, claim your season. Let us know in the comments so we can wish you a happy birthday and a happy solar return. And stay tuned to the Twisted Goddess Crystals page, as I will post the Capricorn season crystal recommendations there tomorrow. So the sun entering Capricorn also brings us to the winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere. Many traditions this time of year, like decorating trees, the Yule log, hanging mistletoe, actually come from pagan solstice traditions. It's a time to honor both the light and the dark. The winter solstice brings the shortest day and the longest night of the year, and the start of winter. Okay, it's time to go within, rest, reflect, hibernate, if you will. There is a celebration of the darkness with winter solstice, but there's also the hopeful reminder that from here on, the days will begin to get longer. So since this is the shortest day, that means from here on, the days will begin to get longer until we reach the equinox where the day and night is equal again. So the days are going to begin to get longer. The nights are going to begin to get shorter. It marks the symbolic death and rebirth of the sun. Many ancient structures were aligned with the sunrise or sunset on the winter solstice. So this is really a special day to honor the darkness and know that darkness always brings rebirth of the light, right? So there are some ways to celebrate winter solstice. If you'd like to do that, you can bring in light with fire or candles as a symbol of the sun's ability to bring us light and life, and to honor the sun deities who will soon return. You can watch the sunrise or the sunset on this day. That's a beautiful, beautiful practice on winter solstice. You can decorate a Yule tree. You can give back to nature by leaving bird seed or something along those lines. You can hang mistletoe above the entry to your home for protection, as the veil is said to be thin on this day, similar to Samhain, Halloween, as some of you may know it. So that is Capricorn season and winter solstice. It's going to be a big one. And then on Friday, December 22nd, we have what is called Mercury Cazimi. Okay, so that's an astrological term we use to describe when the sun and Mercury come together at the same point of the zodiac, forming an exact conjunction. This is a day where the sun gives power and strength to Mercury, the planet of the mind. It's said to be a day of clarity. So when we have a Mercury Cazimi during Mercury Retrograde, it's often considered the bright spot of Mercury Retrograde, because it can give us a break to the sometimes foggy or confused time that Mercury Retrograde is. So December 22nd, Mercury Cazimi, expect to have a little bit of clarity. If there is something that you need to do that is typically frowned upon or advised against during Mercury Retrograde, like having a tough conversation or something like that, buying a new electronic, Mercury Cazimi is often a day during Mercury Retrograde where we say it's okay to do it during that day, because there's this power, there's this clarity that is being offered by the sun. And there's a brightness that is being offered by the sun. Then on Saturday, December 23rd, we have Mercury Retrograde moving back into Sagittarius. So a Mercury stationed retrograde on December 13th at 8 degrees Capricorn. And then on December 23rd, we're going to have Mercury Retrograde moving back into Sagittarius until January 1st, when Mercury stations direct at 22 degrees Sagittarius. And it's going to remain in its post-shadow period or retrograde until January 20th. So what does that mean? Right? I know some of you are like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? I'm actually excited about this because I feel Mercury in Capricorn, where it was retrograding through and where it currently is retrograding through as I'm recording this, is so goal mindset focused that Mercury retrograde in that sign can feel extra tough to slow down. Okay. extra tough to slow down because it's like, wait a minute, I have things to do. I can't slow down right now, right? It's so goal-oriented, goal mindset. Whereas Sagittarius really invites us to be more broad-minded, to focus on the big picture and to trust in divine timing. So while it's not going to feel as grounded, some of you might not feel as foggy or confused during this Mercury retrograde because it is happening in an earth sign. Some of that more fogginess or confused energy may come a little bit more strongly with when Mercury retrograde moves back into Sagittarius, but it's going to give us the ability to slow down and kind of see that big picture and see that divine timing more than it is with Mercury in Capricorn, Mercury retrograded Capricorn. On Wednesday, December 26th, we are going to have the last full moon of the year at 4 degrees Cancer. So the full moon is a culmination point of the lunar cycle. It is the peak. It is it's what the energy has been building up to. And you may find that your emotions and your intuition are supercharged under a full moon. As the moon is shining down in its fullest state, in and around you, you are asked to really look around your life and give gratitude and to celebrate all the fullness that is in and around you in your life. Okay, so the themes of the full moon are that of completion, celebration, and illumination. Since this full moon is happening in Cancer, focus your gratitude on what is truly important to you. You can use this full moon to hone in on your core values and use these newly prioritized values as a guide for the next calendar year. Remember to balance your emotional fulfillment, Cancer energy, moon in Cancer, with your material drive, Capricorn energy, sun in Capricorn. The moon in Cancer makes us more emotional and vulnerable, so avoid situations on this day that you know are going to drain you. And the moon is the strongest in the sign of Cancer, as that is where the moon feels most at home, because Cancer is ruled by the moon. Also, any crystals, water, or other spiritual tools that are charged under the full moon are going to hold the energy of power and success. And while you can choose to celebrate, give gratitude, and ask for illumination around any area of your life under this last full moon of 2023, it can be extra potent if you focus your energy to the area of your life that this particular full moon is activating. And this can be done by seeing what house 4 degrees Cancer is in your birth chart, and then centering your full moon practice around the area of your life that corresponds to that house. Remember, a full moon is a time of fullness. It's a time to celebrate. It's a time to give gratitude. It's a time to ask for illumination while the light is at its fullest in the night sky. If you're someone who releases at the full moon, if that's what aligns with you, absolutely, there's no right or wrong in spirituality. If that's what aligns with you, continue doing that. But astrologically speaking, release work is meant to, I don't want to say meant to, because that's another rule, but it more aligns with the last quarter moon. Whereas celebration, gratitude, and illumination more aligns with the themes of the full moon. Also on Tuesday, December 26th, same day as that last full moon of 2023, we have Chiron stationing direct, ending its 5-month retrograde. I am so excited about this one. So while Chiron, the wounded healer, is retrograde, old wounds that we may have thought were healed can resurface for greater healing. It may have felt like a roller coaster ride, like you again, to these wounds that we thought were healed. You're coming back up again. I thought I was finished with you. So Chiron retrograde is truly a reminder that healing is not linear. It is a spiral, coming back around to similar experiences to gain deeper perspectives. And now that Chiron is stationing direct, you may begin to feel like you're moving forward again in your healing journey. So I am absolutely looking forward to Chiron stationing direct on December 26th. the wounds feel like scars again rather than open cuts is how I would explain that. Chiron moving direct again instead of being retrograde. Hey, Raven. We've been working with Chiron and Aries since 2018, and just because Chiron is stationing direct does not mean we're finished working with Chiron and Aries, because we're going to continue working with Chiron and Aries until 2027, okay? So Chiron and Aries is considered the wound of self-worth. So as Chiron retrograde comes to an end, reflect on what wounds of self-worth came back open for you since late July. Want to take it one step further? What house does 15 to 19 degrees of Aries sit in for you in your personal birth chart? It is the area of life you may have seen those wounds resurface. For instance, if it is in your second house, you may have seen wounds around your self-worth in terms of your earning potential, or in terms of your worthiness of spending time and energy and finances on yourself. If it's in your seventh house, you may have seen wounds around your self-worth in terms of you deserving a healthy relationship. If it's in your 11th house, you may have seen wounds around your self-worth in terms of friendships and community, right? And for those of you who said that this Chiron, and for those of you who have Chiron retrograde in Aries in your 8th house, like me, I am sorry. Those of you who have where Chiron retrograde was moving through 15 to 19 degrees of Aries in your 8th house, like me, I am sorry. I see you. I am you. The wound of self-worth in the house of insecurities and intimacy is a real gut punch. But we made it through. And we can move forward in our healing again once Chiron starts moving forward again when it stations direct on December 26th. Hey, Dana. Oh, Chiron return. With Chiron coming back around to Aries. Yeah, what house is it in for you? So Friday, December 29th, we have Venus moving into Sagittarius until January 23rd. So it's going to be moving out of Scorpio. It's still in Scorpio right now, where we're really craving depth and intimacy in our relationships. But once Venus moves into Sagittarius on December 29th until January 23rd, Venus is the planet of love, beauty, harmony. It's attuned to our heart centers. It's also attuned to our personal relationships. So while it is in the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius, we want our personal relations to be expansive. We want to feel a sense of freedom and adventure, and we desire raw honesty. This is also a really great time for those who are single and looking, as Sagittarius energy really brings some optimism into your love life. So if you've been single for a while and you've been looking for a relationship and you've been feeling like a little bit jaded and feeling like I'm never going to find the person, Venus and Sagittarius can come in and inject a little bit of optimism and hope and faith. So I do like Venus Sagittarius, especially leaving Scorpio. It kind of brightens everything up a little bit, right? Saturday, last thing we're going to talk about, last astrological movement of the year that we're going to talk about. Saturday, December 30th, we have Jupiter stationing direct as well, ending its retrograde cycle. So it's going to station direct at 5 degrees Taurus after being retrograde since September 4th. Jupiter is the planet of growth, abundance, and luck. And so since September, the retrograde has been pushing Jupiter's energy inward rather than outward. It's been a time of focusing on inner growth. So take some time in these last days of Jupiter retrograde to really reflect on the inner growth that you have seen since September. And then after December 30th, once Jupiter starts moving forward again and stations direct, expect to see Jupiter direct allowing external growth again. Expect to see abundance flowing again. It was kind of halting our ability to externally grow so that we could focus more on our internal growth, okay? So that is our Astro Forecast for the rest of December, because I'm going to be out of town next week, but there was some big things happening and I did not want to miss talking about the last full moon of the year. Didn't want to miss Chiron stationing direct. Thank you, and I did not want to miss Jupiter stationing direct either. So with that, if you have any questions, you can comment below. This is going to be available as the replay, so you can come back and rewatch it throughout these next 2 weeks to come back and remember what the astrological energies are. If you missed the beginning, of course, this will be available for the replay in a little bit. And do not forget to go check out that 2024 New Moon Manifestation Guide. It is linked in the video description if you want to learn how to manifest using the lunar cycle, not in a generalized sense, but in a personalized way off of your birth chart. Okay, so that is something you're going to use all year long. All right, loves, thanks so much.